Today in this video, we're gonna go over how we can invest on behalf of our children, and hopefully that investment can reach, if not tens of thousands, maybe $100,000 by the time they reach the legal age to take over the account. Obviously, the moment you invest on the same year the child was born will get you the maximum amount of return in the investment. Remember, more time you have to invest, more return you are likely to have, but also it will really help if you can contribute annually to boost the growth of the investment. Using the compound interest calculator, $1,000 with 8% gain annually for 20 years will result in $3,660. But if you put in $1,000 annually for the next 20 years, the portfolio can grow up to $33,083. More initial money you start with the investment and more money you put annually can drastically increase the portfolio. Just doubling the amount for the initial investment and annual contribution to $2,000 can result to $66,167, and that's only on 8% capital gain. If the capital gain were to hit 10% every year, you could hit almost $100,000 in 20 years with just $2,000 initial investment with $2,000 annual contribution. So this is why today we're going to talk about custodial account that will generate capital gain, which will be waiting to help our children financially. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Investment for Beginners. My name is Andy, and thank you for checking out this channel where I go over some of the basic stuff about investing along with tips and advice that may help you in your investment. A disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor, but I am a stock investor that have been investing for a few years, and I want to share what I learned, my knowledge and experience in investing with you, so maybe you can learn from my mistake or get better head start than I did when I started investing in mid-20. If you're interested, I will link a playlist for basic introduction for investment below for you to check it out. Also, if you found any of my video helpful or insightful, consider sharing it with your friends and family so we can all achieve financial independent freedom. Now, enough with the same old intro. In this episode, I want to talk about custodial account. Hopefully, this video will provide you with the information and details you need to understand and utilize this awesome account that you can create for your child or nephew, niece, friend's minor, or just any child who is minor. Just be prepared that you will need the minor's social security, their information such as full legal name, birthday, and stuff like that. So what is custodial account? Well, like mentioned before, custodial account is exclusively for a minor. And the purpose of this account is to have an investment generate capital gain over the years until the minor becomes legal age to claim the account. However, just like everything else in this investment, there are pros and cons to custodial account. Now, before we begin, you have to know that every asset in the custodial account is legally minors the moment you or whoever opened the account. They are no longer an asset that belongs to the donor. If you put $100 into the account, that $100 is now the minor's. You cannot take it back into your own possession, so make sure to teach the minor the financial responsibility and to be smart with the money. After all, you don't want the child to be spending all that money they inherit and left with nothing, or worse, going into debt. Last I checked, school don't teach about managing money or investment, budgeting, and stuff like that. It is our responsibility to make sure that our children learn these important skills while they're young so their future financial situation will be better off than ours. I'm not saying you should teach them when they're in the elementary, but in high school. If you can trust them carrying around with cell phone, then you should be able to teach them how to handle money. First, there are two different accounts that falls under custodial account. First one is Uniform Gift to Minors Act, or UGMA, and the second one is Uniform Transfer to Minor Act, or UTMA. Under the UGMA, adult can only invest in common security like stock, mutual fund, ETF, and bond, to name the popular one. Usually the UGMA, the minor will be able to take full control of the account when they turn 18. But this may vary from state to state. Now, the asset in the UGMA can be used throughout the year. It's not something that cannot be touched like the retirement account, but the catch is that the asset must be used for the minor only, whether that is for education purpose or school supplies, tuition, stuff like that. I know there is 529 account that handle individual education expense, and I'll probably make a separate video about that. Anyway, going back to the topic, parent or donor cannot use the asset inside the custodial account to buy themselves any good, a house, a car, or just about anything that don't benefit the minor. So be careful how you decide to use the asset for the minor. Now, the other account, UTMA, allow more diversity of donation to the account. Under the UTMA, donor can donate assets such as the real estate, intellectual property like copyright, patent, trademark, and trade secret. For UTMA, the age of the ownership is 21. However, on some state where the account was open, the age can be high as 25. This is very useful to prolong the minor to claim the account if you think they might blow off money left and right. Like I mentioned before, I believe it is very critical that the adult educate the child of financial and money responsibility. Adults who are irresponsible with their money can spend a lot in credit card, and that can cause a huge debt that minor will need to pay for a long time. I was very frugal person since I was a kid, and when I had money, I wanted to have more. I felt having more money will help me feel safer in the future because I wouldn't have to worry about being homeless. That was my mindset when I was a kid. So as I grew older making money, that just helped me to manage my money more carefully and spend only what I really want. Now, we have to talk about tax. Yes, there is a tax involved in custodial account because wherever the Uncle Sam can get his share of income, he wants it. Fortunately, the tax doesn't seem too bad as far as what I had gathered. First, in order to prevent from triggering the gift tax, donor can contribute up to $15,000 annually. For married couple filing jointly, that goes up to $30,000 annually. Now, you can put more than the amount I mentioned, but like I said, $15,000 is the amount that you can put up to in order to prevent the gift tax. Now, let's talk about income generated from the investment. For the first $1,050 capital gain that the account has made, that will not be taxed. However, anything above the $1,050 will be taxed at child's rate, which is anywhere between 10 to 15%. That's not too bad considering how much adults pay in federal tax in US, especially residents living in California, who pay roughly around 4 to 10% of state income tax on top of the federal tax. Now, when the capital gain passes $2,100, then those gains will be taxed at the parent's rate. So if you're a parent watching this that makes too much money, well, at least you're making enough money to cover your child's expense by making a lot of money. Still, it doesn't hurt to pay if you're generating a capital gain from an investment. There is one bad news with the custodial account. Because this account holds assets under the minor's name, this will affect whether the child will be qualified to receive any financial aid for college or may reduce the amount of financial aid the child may receive. Now, this may not be an issue at all for a parent who makes good amount of money because most likely than not, if you make a good money, your child likelihood to receive financial aid from the government is already low. So I feel like this is a win-win if you make a good money. Now, for those who doesn't make good money, this may be a double-edged sword. You might not end up getting any or full financial aid to help pay for the college. However, keep in mind that this money can be used for college. So it's not like you won't have any access to any money to pay for college. You'll just be using the investment that you and any other donor put into the account to pay for the college. If the child chooses not to go to the college, then by the time they gain control of this account, they will have money in their hand to use for whatever they need. because now that the child became the legal age to control the account, they can use the money to help them buy a car, down payment for apartments, start up a business, use it to invest in stock market, real estate, just about whatever they wish to do. For me, this is why I will be making custodial account for my child, so that way I will be able to still hold on to my asset to invest and grow while not having to worry about spending money out of the pocket for something that my child will need, because I will already have the amount in the custodial account. I will probably make 529 account for my child to help pay for the college if financial aid does not work out, while having custodial account to help my child with whatever they'll need when they claim the account. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope this video gave you some insight about what we can do to invest in behalf of our children for their financial future that we hope will give them an edge over other children. We all want our children to grow up without having to worry about money too much and focus on what they want to do. So if you're an adult or a parent that has a child or knows a minor who can benefit from the custodial account, consider opening up an account and think twice about it before you swift it under the table, because it might be worth something down the future. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and if you would like more investment retirement video like this, consider subscribing so you won't miss out on a future video. Also hit the notification bell, that way you'll know when the video goes live. Super smashing the like button is always appreciated, and like always, invest wisely.